In 1872, a researcher named George Smith was sifting through the ruined archives of the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal when he discovered humanity's oldest recorded story. The cuneiform lines revealed a violent, psychological narrative about an arrogant demigod who needed a lesson. Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, is exactly 2/3 god and 1/3 human. Under the crushing weight of his divine blood, he exhausts subjects with forced labor to build massive walls, and claims the right to sleep with brides on their wedding nights. He possesses the unstoppable physical power of a god, but lacks the maturity to wield it with any sense of responsibility. To curb this tyranny, the gods create a counterbalance from clay. They form Enkidu, a wild man who grazes with animals and lives entirely within the untamed natural world. Enkidu is drawn out of the wild by Shamhat, a temple priestess. Through their encounter, he loses his animal speed, but gains human reason, eventually traveling to Uruk to confront the king. The two titans collide in the streets of the city. They wrestle fiercely, shaking the masonry, until the fight reaches a deadlock. Neither man can overcome the other. Instead of fighting to the death, they stop. Exhausted, they recognize their physical equality and form an immediate, inseparable friendship. This bond redirects Gilgamesh's destructive energy away from his citizens. However, their combined strength only amplifies their arrogance, leading them to challenge the divine hierarchy itself. To secure everlasting fame, the two men march to the legendary cedar forest. They locate its divine guardian, Humbaba, execute him, and steal the sacred timber. The gods are watching. While they plot their response, take a second to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future mythological deep dives. Back in Uruk, Gilgamesh commits a final act of disrespect. Ishtar, the goddess of love and war, attempts to seduce him. He responds with a litany of insults, mocking the miserable fates of her past lovers. Enraged, Ishtar unleashes the cosmic bull of heaven to destroy the city. Gilgamesh and Enkidu slaughter the beast, and Enkidu hurls a piece of the carcass at the goddess in contempt. Slaying the bull represents a threshold crossed. Human civilization has attempted to declare physical dominance over the forces of nature. The gods demand a life in return. Because Gilgamesh is part divine, they bypass him. The punishment falls on the mortal Enkidu, who is struck with a wasting illness. Enkidu suffers a terrifying vision of a bleak underworld before dying. Gilgamesh shatters. He refuses to bury the body, weeping over his friend for 7 long days and nights. The breaking point comes when physical decay sets in and a maggot falls from Enkidu's nose. Seeing this, Gilgamesh realizes his own human fraction guarantees he will eventually rot in exactly the same way. He strips off his royal garments, dons dirty lion skins, and abandons the city. He flees into the wild, driven by the terror of the grave. Gilgamesh's grief has turned inward. His panic stems from the certainty that his friend's fate is merely a preview of his own inevitable end. Gilgamesh begins a desperate quest to find Utnapishtim, the only human ever granted eternal life by the gods. He seeks a way to cheat his own biology. Along the way, he meets Siduri, a divine tavern keeper. She advises him to abandon his search. She tells him to accept that humans were created to die, and to find satisfaction in the finite pleasures of a mortal life. He refuses to listen. When he finally reaches Utnapishtim, the immortal offers a test. If Gilgamesh can conquer death, he should be able to conquer sleep for 6 days. Gilgamesh fails almost immediately. Taking pity on him, Utnapishtim reveals a youth-restoring plant on the seafloor. Gilgamesh retrieves it, but while he bathes, a snake steals it and sheds its skin, leaving the king empty-handed. The universe has systematically stripped away his advantages. His royal title, his strength, and his divine blood are useless against the natural limits of life. Gilgamesh returns to Uruk with nothing. He approaches the massive brick walls he once used to oppress his people. Looking up at the masonry, he sees his own signature in the permanence of the brick. He realizes that while his physical body will rot, these stones and the people they protect will carry his name forward. The epic concludes that immortality is a matter of cultural memory rather than biological survival. It is the maturity to accept a finite life while contributing to a civilization that outlasts the individual. Gilgamesh's failure to live forever is exactly what made his story endure for 4,000 years. What myths should we cover next? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.